Hello, everybody. We are going live here with ProCare Health.
I don't know what that was.
We are being joined today by Rodolfo. We're so excited. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
Good. We
Everything is good.
I may not. I'm jumping on our ProCare page to see.
We're trying to make sure it's live on Facebook. But everybody say hi. We got Bobby. We have Rhonda. Rhonda, girl, how are you? She's with us a lot.
Great.
So you guys, Rodolfo is a very special guest because we actually met him from another retreat called Renew in Ohio, and it was in January. And of course, Danielle Sullivan is the coordinator, and she was the coordinator of that event, and she also runs the Ohio Bariatric Facebook page, the meetup page. So we love Danielle. So how long have you known Danielle?
For like 4 months, I would say. December last year.
Oh, wow.
And how did you
Yeah.
guys meet?
Sorry.
I was reaching out to different people online by Instagram, and I started following her account, and we started talking, and then we had conversations about our businesses and how we could do things together and projects together. That's how.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
She's such a great person to collaborate with, too.
Yeah.
We love her.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's the best.
we're looking forward to it. And I want to kind of just do like a little introduction of everybody. So those of you who don't know Brittany and I, basically we run these weekly live events on Crowdcasting and Facebook. And basically we just talk about any kind of topic related to bariatric surgery for people who are pre-op or post-op. And we share all different kinds of ideas and thoughts on ways to give value to the community. And so today we are going to be talking to Rodolfo here on a topic that I think has been really, we've not ever talked about on our forum, and really it's not something that's being discussed out there, but it's on sexuality, how that affects the bariatric surgery patient, before surgery, after surgery. We're going to be sharing basically just about some ends that maybe it's hard to talk to your doctor about or hard to talk to other community about. And so with that, I'm going to introduce our guest, Rodolfo, and I'm going to let you just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and your history and how you got involved with this, with this topic, because I mean, he is a wealth of knowledge. Brittany, as Brittany said, got to meet him in Ohio, and I was just like, wow.
Yes, it was really nice. Honestly, I wish I would have gotten some more time to talk to you. It was a busy event.
Busy day.
Every break we had, I mean, my booth was slammed. I think yours was too because you were right by us.
And we just had the chance to talk in the car, but it was
Yeah.
Yes, and I have a lot to say more, actually, in addition to what I shared with you that day, and in regards to wellness and how I started working with people and helping them to enjoy more their sexuality. Okay, so is it okay if I start introducing myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Perfect. So the first thing that I would like to share is that I'm from Chile. Okay. So I'm not native, I don't speak English like native. So if you don't understand anything, please feel free to tell me. I would love to repeat anything. Okay, that's the first thing. My name is Rodolfo Alvarez. I'm a wellness coach. And the year 2015, I set up a wellness center in Chile. And at that point, our main program was related to helping people to add healthy eating habits, and with that, losing weight. That was our approach. Why? Because personally, I struggled all my life with my weight since I was a kid. And I knew that I was hiding some emotions and covering them with food, and that was the root of the issue. So I learned some techniques, and I tried to taught that techniques in these programs. Okay? And I work with bariatric patients, people that wanted just to lose weight, and some people that just wanted to explore their relationship with food. Okay? And after a while, I started noticing a pattern. A lot of people that signed up to our programs were not happy with their sex life. They were not enjoying. And there were a lot of issues related to self-esteem that were affecting their connection. Okay? The pattern was so repetitive that I decided to study sexology, and I did a master's on sexology. I wrote a book, and I started attending a radio show on sexual life and sexuality. Okay? So what I would like to do today is share with you some of the tools that I have learned that help people to enjoy their sex life more. Okay? Bariatric patients, I think, that are in a process of change. Their bodies are changing, their mindset is changing, and of course that affects the sexual life. Mm-hmm. Of course that affects the way you relate to others. So I think that first of all, it's important to talk about sexuality, about sex life. I think that there are not like enough spaces to talk about this topic, which is necessary. That's the first thing. And the other thing is to give tools to understand ourselves, accept and embrace our new bodies, and just enjoy. Because that is the focus and the approach of the sexual life. Mm-hmm. Please let me know if I'm like doing well and if you
yeah, no, you're doing, please. Yes, we understand. And actually, I want to say real quick that, you know, we talk about diet, exercise, vitamins, you're staying hydrated, all of these pieces of the puzzle, but no one's ever talking about the sexuality, and that is a piece to health and wellness as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, so I'm really happy that we're talking about this, and we do have a few questions and comments. Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say that, and also I want to say too, Brittany, we do have questions we want to go ahead and give you here in just a second, but I also want to say you guys can't see Rodolfo, his full body picture, but like you look really good. I would never.
Great. I never knew that you struggled with weight
never.
problems. No idea.
Really? I can send you my before and after because yes, I struggled and when I was a kid, I would say like I had a lot of issues in my family. My parents were getting divorced. I'm gay, so I was coming out, and all of that. I think that produced inside of me a lot of anxiety, and I didn't have the resources to manage that anxiety. So what I did was turn to food.
Yeah, and honestly, you're probably not the only one that had those inner struggles and, you know, turned to food for that reason.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah, they want to see your before and after, and even if you have it on your phone and you can just kind of hold it up, or if you send it to us, or if you can share it online, great. If not, it's not a big deal. How much did you lose, Rodolfo?
Yeah. So this is hard because in Chile we work with kilograms, not with pounds. Right? But I can tell you in kilograms. So I had 13 years old and I was weighing 97 and I lost to 74 kilograms.
Wow. Okay. So 213 minus 74 times 2.2.
Yeah.
So it's over, like, it's close to
50 pounds.
50 pounds. Over 50 pounds. Yeah.
And I was a teenager. I wasn't the adult that I'm today.
So 213 to 160.
That's amazing.
Exactly. And what I would like to say with this, and I always convey this message, like, I think that we all kind of struggle with our relationship with food. Like, and some people find some tools that are helpful for them, and the bariatric surgery is one of the tools. And others, for example, can stick to an eating plan or something like go to therapy. So each of us needs to find what works for us. And I think that we're all different, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I think that the work that you do too is relevant because you're giving people resources. That's the point.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah. You want to read questions? We got some questions here, too.
We got some good ones,
before you kind of jump in. And also some comments, I think, too. Some people just wanted to say, and you may be able to see some of these, too, on your end, but I'll let you read.
So I already said hi to Bobby and Rhonda. Hi. Bertha said, hey, y'all. Rhonda, good, very busy lately trying to get the kiddos to the end of the school year. Yeah. My teacher friends are like, we're almost there. Michelle Kirk said, good morning. Enid, who's our friend, she said, hello, friends. And Michelle said this is such a needed topic, so she's very happy about this topic. I can't see that person's name. Oh, Tanaya. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, guys. Either way, it's a pretty name, though. Do you report to our doctors when we get on the support group podcast? Can we send them
if
attendance of live events? Or is it
I
only support
usually
groups?
don't send the doctor's offices these live events, but if you want me to, we could count it as a support group. And I'm going to send you my email right here. It's hainb@procarenow.com. You're welcome to send me an email, and I'd be happy to. I only usually send the support groups that we're doing, and we usually do those on the third Thursday. We're having one this week, but
Tomorrow.
I can send this certification that you attended this one if it's something you're interested in. Just let me know.
Just shoot her an email, and we'll get you the
And on
info.
Facebook, you care if I put it on Facebook too?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
he's got his picture too.
Oh, he does. Hold it up.
Yeah, can you see?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So
It's-
how old were
it's real.
you in that picture?
13, I guess.
13.
Yeah,
And then
so,
when was that other picture taken? The after?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Right. So I was a teenager struggling,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't have the resources that I needed.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. When you don't have the resources, you just find ways to cope. And
Yeah.
food was my way.
Definitely.
So,
Kristen said, I've been asking my Berry Clinic, GYN, and primary about this very same topic. They have had no answers, so I'm beyond frustrated. Thank you so much for such a timely event.
So, Kristen, if you have specific questions, there's an ask a question feature. You can put them under there, or you can just
Yeah.
put them in the chat box too. Like specific ones, feel free. This is a format for you to share in.
And Philip said, how many pounds did you lose? So in pounds, we figured it out. It's about a little over 50 pounds.
right.
You said it right the second time. Yes, because I'm pre-op and have to get on 2 before my surgery, and I was on 1 yesterday as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're ready for you to jump in.
Yeah, let's just jump into
Yes.
the content. I'm excited.
Perfect. Let's go. So give me 1 second. Is it okay if I start talking about, for example, sexual desire in general, and then I start
Yeah,
tackling it
I
from
think so.
the issues that bariatric or the struggles of bariatric patients? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect. So give me 1 second to share my screen.
And Tanya, I also got your other email, it looks like. So I'll be sending that. It probably won't be today, maybe tomorrow, because we're at the office, the ProCare office today.
We are.
Okay. Perfect. So can you see my screen?
We can. It
Yes.
says sexual desire.
Perfect. Sexual desire. Let's talk about that. It's needed. Okay. So I think, and this is my story, my belief, and the people can comment on the chat, is that we don't have a lot of sexual education. Okay. What I think is that the education that we received is related to, I don't know, conception or anti-conception
Yes.
or ITS. But in reality, we don't know some concepts that are essentials. Like, for example, what is sexual desire? What's sexual drive? How we can boost our sexual desire? What can happen to our sexual desire, right? So what I would like to do first is to talk about this concept and then see what happens in the case of people that went through the bariatric surgery, okay? So to explain what is sexual desire, I will explain first what is desire, okay? So desire is a motivation to having a specific experience. What do I mean with this? Let's say that I'm walking and I see an apple that is hanging on a tree, okay? So I will see the apple and I'm going to start thinking how delicious must be that apple. So I'm going to feel motivated, and I'm going to take the apple, and I'm going to eat the apple. Okay? So that's desire, the motivation for having an experience. I go, for example, to the shopping. I'm walking, and I see, for example, a shirt. And I start imagining how would that shirt look on me. And maybe I think that I will feel confident, secure, attractive. So I want that experience, and I'm motivated. So what I do is buy that shirt. The same can happen, for example, with a car. I'm walking by the street, I see a car, and it's like, oh, that car is amazing. I would like to feel that I can drive fast, that I'm free. So what I do is buying the car, okay? In terms of sexuality, the same happens. Sexual desire is the motivation to have sexual experiences, okay? And which is interesting to me, it's that as people, we all want to have different experiences. Some people, for example, in sex, they want to have sexual pleasure or physical pleasure. Others are searching for connection. Others just want to relax. Others just want to dominate. Others want to discover themselves. And the question that we should ask today, if we want to enjoy our sex life, is what are the experiences that we are searching for in sex? And this answer can change. And why I'm saying this? Because sometimes in life we need other experiences, different than the experiences that we wanted in the past. There's a lot of people that, for example, maybe when they start their sexual life, what they want is physical pleasure. But then at some point of their lives, they are struggling with something and they are stressed, and what they need is connection, intimacy, knowing that they have other people, right? So a lot of people come to me and they tell me, I have a lack of sexual drive, I have a lack of sexual desire. If you want to have more sexual desire, or you would like to connect with your desire, you need to ask yourself these questions. What I'm searching for in my sexual experiences? What are the experiences that are attractive for me? Why I'm saying this? Because, for example, for a lot of people, sexuality is related to an obligation. They do that because their partner is asking them to do that. Or they think that is something mechanical, that is always going to be the same. Or, for example, they think that they need to have a good performance, meaning they need to reach or have an orgasm, right? And all those things, what at the end tend to do is stressing people out. And with that, the vision that they have of their sexual life is not going to be attractive. And that will lead to a lower in their sexual drive. Because who will want to have an experience that is not attractive? Would you like to eat an apple that you know that perished?
That's
that is
rotten.
not going to be delicious?
No.
Right? Right. You don't. Or if you go to the shopping and you see a t-shirt and the t-shirt is dirty, you're not going to want to buy that t-shirt, right? But a lot of people...
The t-shirt's not good looking.
Right. But in sexuality, a lot of people ask themselves, why I don't have sexual drive? They don't understand why. But the vision that they have of their sexual life is not attractive. So you need to start changing that vision. Are you following me? Am I being clear?
Yeah, I mean, it's making sense to me.
So basically, like if somebody was wanting to, the things that would increase the desire would be...
I was going to say, can you give us an example maybe of like when you were referring to people need to ask themselves the question like what they're looking for, like whether it be a connection or... So I guess, can you give us an example of what someone could be looking for, maybe? And because some people might not have any idea what they're even looking for.
And it's okay, because I told you, we are not taught about this. Like, no one explained to us what is sexual desire, what are the sexual experiences. No one talked about this.
Well, it's very taboo, I feel like. And it's not talked about hardly enough.
Exactly. So, for example... let's say that I'm starting my sex life. Okay, so I'm John. Probably at the beginning, what I will search for is for physical pleasure. Okay, let's say that I'm going through a process of stress in my life. And I see this very frequently when, for example, women get pregnant. After having the baby, like they are stressed and their sexual desire lowers. Okay? So probably what they want in that stage of their lives is not maybe physical pleasure, maybe are different experiences related to connection, related to just maybe being touched, being cared. And that's the desire that they had. And what I want to do with this is that every day we need something different. Maybe sometimes we will want to have like wild sex, or maybe sometimes we will just want to connect. Sometimes we will just want a massage. Sometimes sex is going to be something funny, something fun, and we will like to just like discover ourselves and play with a sex toy. It is going to depend. So what I see a lot is people that are telling themselves that they have an issue because they don't desire what is expected for them to desire.
Yeah.
Because we have all this information that is provided by the pornography, I think, and social media that is misinformation. So people are supposed to want to have sex always, for example. And there's a sexual frequency that is the normal frequency. And we all should value to have orgasms. And in reality, maybe we all not want that. Maybe we just want like to kiss our partner and enjoy that.
And just enjoy like the time together, yeah. It's not even really
Exactly.
about the physical thing, it's more of the connection.
And for others, could be different. For others,
It could be
just
the
physical
opposite
connection.
side, yeah.
Right. And that's okay. But we're all different. That's the point.
So I have a question. We were talking about, I feel like there's different stages in your life too. So age could be another factor as to why someone may be not fulfilling their desires, correct?
Right. I think that
Like
for
different
example,
life stages.
Yes. With age, the sexual drive can change, right? But I don't like to make up norms or rules because what I've noticed is that we're all different,
Oh, yeah.
right? And when we say things like that, then people start thinking, oh, I'm old. At this age, I should not have sexual drive. Maybe there's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And my invitation is going to be more to appreciate who you are and discover who you are and asking yourself, what do you desire today? And when it comes to bariatric patients, what I have seen is that they are in a process of transformation. And a lot of them, what they need to do is to rediscover their bodies. There's a change in the perception. There's a change in how they feel. And of course, they are going to start wanting different experiences. So it's a process about knowing your new self. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Definitely.
That's one of the things that I see a lot in bariatric patients. And the other thing that I see a lot is that like their dynamics of relationship changed a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, at the beginning, maybe they were not good setting boundaries and they didn't ask for what they needed or they didn't communicate their needs. And after, they feel more empowered, more self-confident.
That's
and
what I was going to say is confidence.
Right. That brings up like a lot of new opportunities for them. So I think that the process is about reconnecting with this new version of themselves.
And honestly, in a way, it's almost like what you just said. They feel empowered. They have this confidence. It's almost like before they have surgery, they're, so to speak, in the passenger seat. And then after they have surgery, when it comes to sex drive, they get in the driver's seat a little bit. Exactly.
And I think that a lot of opportunities open up. And the other thing is that they start facing some fears.
Yeah.
For example, I'm working with a person and I'm doing coaching one-on-one. And this person, now that she's having sex, she experienced a big fear of rejection. And her belief is that the other person doesn't like her body. Okay? That's the belief that she had.
Yeah.
Right? So what I have to do with them is support them to remove those thoughts. Because I think that we were raised in a context that promoted a specific type of body that was the attractive body, right? And that doesn't exist. That's an illusion. What you like is just like, for the person that you are with, that person needs to appreciate your body. And if that person turns on with your body, that's okay. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you need to do a lot of work related to your self-esteem to accept that maybe you have a lot of like limiting beliefs related to your body, and you judge your body and you don't like your body, but that's what you told to yourself. That is not the reality. And someone can appreciate your body, and you can appreciate your body too. If we were, for example, raised in another context, without marketing, without the media, without everything, I would promise you that your relationship with your body would be totally different.
Oh, I'm sure it would. Yeah.
I have a couple things too. It looks like there's a couple comments, but I also have something too I wanted to ask you. So it looks like one of the, Enid says, also what people don't talk about is how low sex drive for some people. So we kind of mentioned that. We kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yes.
And Philip says, do you feel most people are repressed sexually in some way?
Okay, so I will talk about sex drive in general. Okay, so what I think is that in the sexual spectrum, there's diversity. And that diversity can take different phases. So for example, we can talk about sexual orientation. Someone can be straight, someone can be gay, someone, like a person could be lesbian, others could be bisexual, etc. Right? When it comes to sexual desire, there's an spectrum too. There are people that feel desire all day and they would love to have sex all day, and there are others that feel desire sometimes, once a month, once a year, and if they have a sexual intercourse once a year, they feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
So what I would like to say is that, like, here there are no rules. Of course, I can understand that there are some changes that are associated to hormones that are working in a specific way, and maybe there could be something related to that. But we as humans are all different. We like different food. We like to eat at different times. We need like different food. So in terms of sexual life, the same happens. It's the same. It's a spectrum. And the thing that is interesting to me is that when people think about sex drive, what they tend to do is to think about those times when they want to have sex and practice penetration. Okay? And what I would like to add is that sexual drive could manifest as, for example, texting, flirting. That is desire too. So we're connected to our sexuality all day. If I like to flirt, if I like to say something, to seduce, to play, that is sexuality too. And the drive could be like manifested in that ways. So I think that we need to like remove this vision that we have of sex that is related to orgasms, penetration, because it's much more than that.
Well, and it's much more about like what you were saying at the beginning of this call. I feel like anything that's taught to anyone, especially in the United States, it's about like the actual science behind it, like the reproduction, like the difference between male and female anatomy, like reproduction anatomy. So it's very different. It's not, no one actually teaches you on sexuality, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that should be taught, honestly, because it's all within health.
Exactly. And sexuality is related to the way that we perceive ourselves, our self-esteem, and it's related to the way that we perceive pleasure too. Because it's a way of getting pleasure. And a lot of people disconnect from that part of their lives, and they don't allow themselves to enjoy it. Right?
Sorry, we have a question I want to ask you. Kathy says... I think that there was... Sorry. Oh, no, that's okay. Do you feel most people are repressed? So we still need to answer that question. And then we have another one that came up too.
Yes. I don't like the word repressed.
Because it makes someone feel like not normal, right?
I'm going to change that, okay, a little. Maybe I'm going to answer the question anyways. So I would say that some people have sexual limitations and they have blockages.
Blockages. I like that word. Okay.
Yeah, blockages that are made up because of different factors. So, for example, let's say that someone was raised in a religious context. Maybe that person has this thought that thinking about sex is something that is dirty.
Or you should do after you get married. That's,
Exactly. That could be a blockage. And the other thing is that we're in a context that is very sexist. Is that a word in English? Like
sexist?
Sexism? Yes.
Sexism. That's a word, yeah.
So, for example, if you're a man, you're allowed to have sexual desire. But if you're a woman, then you're not allowed to have sexual desire.
Yeah.
And if you have sexual desire, you are easy. You know what I'm saying?
Or other bad words we can't say right
I'm
now.
I'm being polite.
Yeah.
So, but what I would like to say is that, of course, that context at the end ends up impacting on people's sexual life because they don't allow to connect with their impulses and with their desires.
Yeah.
So that's why I talk about blockages, and I think that it's really important to remove these blockages. And on one hand, this could be something that was external, meaning education, religion, the media, right? Information that we received. But there's a lot to say related to our own blockages. For example, let's say that I'm a person that has the belief that people will abandon me or people will leave, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then maybe when I relate to others, I have always this fear that they are going to leave. And when I'm having sex, maybe I feel insecure.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could be a perfectionist. So I'm the kind of person that in bed I try to do all perfect, right? So I try to reach the orgasm, make my partners reach the orgasm, and I would like to have the control of everything that is happening. So if you notice in our sex life, a lot of limitations can emerge, but are not related just to sex. Maybe they are like patterns that are present in our lives in different ways too.
And I got something to say about that. This is what I was going to add a while ago. It's like one thing that I think a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but I think there are people who are overweight, have had sexual trauma of some sort too. I think that's where you're talking about the blockages. I think that there's people out there that have had either some kind of abuse or some kind of trauma.
Or they've experienced rejection and they feel like it's connection to their body image.
Yes. 100%.
So they think that everyone's going to give them that rejection. And maybe I'm not correct for saying that. I feel like that is that what you were trying to say?
I'm talking about like
trauma,
rape or things like that. Like there's people in this community I know that have had that happen, and so it makes me wonder, like, when we're talking about blockages, it's like, okay, am I going to be hurt? Am I, that type of thing.
Okay, so Brenda, thanks for sharing that, because I think that you're making a huge point that I think that is relevant to talk about it, right? Because I work with a lot of people that have been abused, right? And that they think that this is something terrible that happened just to them. That they are like an exception. And what I need to say is that abuse is very common. Of course, it's not what we like things to be, of course, but it happens. So if you're listening to us and you experienced an abuse, what I want to say is that there's light. You can work through that and get over that, okay? But it's something that happens, and of course that impact in a lot of things. Like it can impact our self-esteem, the way we perceive ourselves, how much we can give in our relationships, of course. And
or even friendships too, like
exactly.
It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could affect your work relationships, your friendships, family.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that is something that we should talk about, because a lot of people experience this and we pretend that doesn't happen, And the first thing is to accept that we suffered that to make something. That's the first thing. So thanks for bringing that up.
We got a couple more questions if you wanted to ask him.
Yeah,
I just don't want to forget about him.
Here. It looks like Philip says absolutely we get caught up what we see on the social media and on just media in general. Yes, that's 100%. Michelle says, I feel like the culture in the U.S. has a double standards. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but we used to see so much in images we see all the time. And then Philip says, so true. People are quick to judge you because of your weight.
Oh, we missed this question too.
Oh, and Kathy has one too. You want to read that one?
Sure. So how can you determine if someone needs to be assessed for other physiological issues, for example, hormone levels, or if they maybe just have a social, emotional, personal issue, maybe some kind of disorder like that?
Okay, so I love that question because it's related to having a sexual issue, you know? And I think that first of all, we need to determine what is an issue. Okay? Because sometimes a person doesn't meet the expectations of society, and we think that this person has a sexual issue. So for example, let's say I'm happy having sex once a year with my partner, and our relationship works perfect that way. And a lot of people could think that our sexual life doesn't work. And maybe for us, it works. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe I love to have sex 3 times a day. And my partner too. Right? And for us, that works. In those cases, I don't think that there's an issue. I would say that there's an issue if there's something that is affecting your well-being. So, if you like your sex life, or your sexuality, or who you are, that's totally fine, okay? If there's someone that, for example, is experiencing a lower in the sexual drive, and nothing has happened, and it's like not following a tendency, I would start asking if there's something that happened. And maybe in those cases, for example, going to a doctor as an endocrinologist will be helpful to determine if the hormone levels are doing well. Right?
Yeah.
But going back to the answer, if I'm happy with my sexual life, and to me that's okay, I wouldn't say that there's an issue.
I think that you just hit on something really big, because I know I've heard my friends when when you're around your friends talk about it, and it's like, okay, like how do I fit into that group? And then you start thinking, you wonder if what you're doing is normal or not normal.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, and it's so hard to not compare yourself to other people, right? Like we preach on this all the time, especially to the weight loss surgery community. We tell people, please don't compare your journey to another patient's journey, because as you said, they're 2 very different people, so their journeys are going to be different. And I feel like you can say the same thing with sexual desire.
Yes,
right?
we're all different, and in different stages of our life we have different sexual drive, and that's totally fine. The other thing is that a lot of people, okay, so pay attention to this, a lot of people say that they have issues with the sexual drive, when in reality what is happening is that what they are desiring is not available for them. So for example, they say to me, oh, I don't have sexual desire. Right? I don't want to have sex with my husband. That is like what they say. And then when I start working, what is happening is that in that relationship, they are not experiencing pleasure, because they feel that it's an obligation, it's all about penetration, and what they really want is another experience, which is totally fine. So there's an opportunity to redesign the relationship and the sexual relationship. That's totally fine. But you need to understand that maybe it's not about your desire that is low. Maybe it's about you not desiring what is available for you. And if that changes, then your desire will appear magically.
That it makes sense. Eden said that makes sense, and I think so too. It's all about your expectations and what their expectations are, and sometimes I think a lot of it is communication.
Exactly.
You have to
Like to communicate.
with it.
Yeah. And what typically happens is that some person wants something, the other wants other thing, and they don't find like a negotiation point. And at the end, that's why one of the partners start accepting the situation and starts doing things for the other. But after a while, that turns into an obligation, a sacrifice.
It's like a chore.
Exactly.
Man, I gotta go clean those dishes.
Exactly. And with that, the vision of sex is not attractive, and then they don't desire that, which makes a lot of sense. Why would you desire the apple? What did you say? What did you say that the apple was?
It's rotten. It's bad.
That one, yeah, rotten. It's rotten. Yeah, of course, you will not desire the apple. That's what happens, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and then you were talking about the shirt, and I said, well, what if you're just not attracted to the shirt? What if you think the shirt's ugly? But Brenda might think the shirt's cute, you know?
Exactly. And we need to understand that too. Like, we all desire different experiences and different people. That's one of the things. And regarding to the bariatric surgery, what I think is that there's a process of adjustment.
I'm sorry, did you say an adjustment?
Yes, an adjustment in terms of like sexual life. Because there's a process to see the body changing, accepting the new body, right? And learning to relate to this body. And that includes, for example, learning what are your erogenous zones. Because your body is going to change. And your preferences are going to change too. Maybe like there was a posture that you enjoyed in the past that today you're not going to enjoy. And that's totally fine. So my invitation is going to be to start exploring your body again. And that's what I do with people when I guide them in this process and in my coaching sessions. Like, they start exploring their life and their like sexuality again from zero. It's like learning to connect to your body in a different way. And of course, there's a lot of work to do related to the emotional part, the limiting beliefs, how I perceive myself. What do I think that I'm entitled to? What can I communicate, what not? You know? Because of course, if you have a belief about yourself that is, for example, I'm not worth it, then you're not going to communicate your needs. If you think that you don't have value, you're not going to communicate your needs.
Yeah.
And I think that it's relevant to start changing that mindset that affects, at the end, the sex life.
Well, and to start changing the narrative and the tone that you speak to yourself in your head too.
Exactly. I totally agree.
You're not married to Dr. Stanley Hain, right? Are you
On
cheating, are you
Facebook.
cheating on your husband?
Someone on
Okay.
Facebook. Let's see, it's Shantae.
We have a question. She just said, are you married to Dr. Stanley Hain? And I've met her husband before. His name's Jeff. So I'm just giving her a hard time. I said, are you cheating on your husband?
Oh, okay.
It's all about desire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about desire. Yeah, of course, it's all about desire. So in regards to desire, do you think that like people are understanding what's desire and how to start connecting with the desire? Because I think that one of the takeaways of this like live event.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Guys, please let us know in the chat
Yes.
if you have any other questions. Philip said this is a wonderful topic for this group. So yeah, I mean, honestly, we're getting a lot of feedback. I mean, normally I feel like more than normal, right?
Yeah.
So this is
That's
great.
good.
This means that honestly, we might have to have you back for a part 2. People might have more questions.
I have a lot to talk about, and the point is that I just shared one slide. So I don't know how are we doing with time, or if there's like.
Oh, you're
or
good.
if
We
there's-
got about 20 minutes left. You're all good.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
And they
you know what
also
I'm
want
going
your
to do?
They also want your information here a little bit
Yes.
too. You guys will
Someone's
make sure
already
and share
asked
that.
for your information.
We'll make sure and share
So-
it. We can share it. We can either
Yes,
share it
of
now or
course,
we can share it at
after.
the end. Share it at
Yes,
the
at
end.
the end.
Okay.
At the end. I would like to talk about how desire works. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm going
please.
to continue. Give me 1 second.
I'm fine. I gotta keep drinking my water though, because I'm gonna have a coughing fit.
I know. We had lunch here, and I keep pushing. I had pickles.
You can have them.
It's quite on the
And I can
topic,
talk.
guys. The
It's
pickles are
on
quite
the
on the topic.
Right, exactly.
That's not really
Okay,
good.
so
Do they? I thought
are
they
you
said.
able to watch my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So here you can see like 2 mannequins, right? And there's a line, an arrow, like that it's in the distance between them, right? Can you see that? Perfect. So
They're
I would say
social distancing.
right, they're social distancing. And I would say that that distance is the one that helps the creation of the desire. And I'm going to explain why. Because in order for you to experience sexual desire for an object or a subject, what needs to exist is your capacity to appreciate this, right? If I, for example, I'm seeing the apple that is hanging on the tree and there's a distance, I can appreciate the apple. If the apple is so far away and I can't appreciate, I will not desire the apple, okay? So, and if the apple is over my head, I will not be able to appreciate the apple neither. And that's why, for example, there's some food that we could love, but if we start eating that food like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then we are like, can I eat something different? Mm-hmm. So, for the sexual desire to exist, we need to play with this distance. And things need to be available and not available, right? And what I would like to add is that this is one of the challenges of long-term relationships. Because I think that we were raised in this Walt Disney vision of sexuality or sex life, where we find a person, we love this person, and we desire this person. And we move together, we create this family, and we feel attracted forever. And that's not how sexual desire works, okay? Because loving someone is related with security, having, right? Having someone. And desiring someone is related to searching for experiences that I don't have, for something new. So that's why these two forces, which are love and desire, it's hard to make them coexist in long-distance relationships. Desire can be very present at the beginning, but with time, it's going to tend to lower. So one of the challenges for partners and couples is to keep sexual desire alive in the long term and learn how to play with this distance and cultivate the sexual desire and the sexual drive. It's not something that just happens spontaneously. A lot of people think that it should be that way, but in reality, that's not how we work. We need to find novelty. We need to find something new, new experiences, creating this sexual life. And in the long term, if you don't do that, then you're not going to desire your partner or your couple. That's what's going to happen. Because there's not going to be anything new. There are not going to be new experiences that you would like to create.
And actually, this might be a good time to ask that question, because he was just talking about your partner.
There's a couple comments.
Oh, I was talking about this one right here.
Oh, okay. Let's start answering. So what happens if you have a different desire level than your partner?
Okay.
Or how do you handle that, I guess?
Yeah, a really good question. So, I think that partners should talk about their sexual desire and sexual drive. And they need to be very, explicit.
And blunt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. And say, you know what? I would like to have sex, 2 times a day. Or, I would like to have sex, once a week. That's totally fine. Because what comes after that is to finding a point of negotiation, I would say, and a middle point, right? I think that there's a limiting belief related to partners, which is the following. A lot of people think that our partner is the person that should come to our lives and give us a lot of things. Give us satisfaction, security, confidence, sexual pleasure, right? And I think that is not sustainable. We should be able to satisfy our needs and sometimes satisfy them with our partners. Mm-hmm. But your sex life exists inside of you and it's yours. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can connect with your sexual life with your partner, but another possibility is connecting with your sexual life without your partner. And that's why I think that masturbation, for example, is something that could be a good alternative in addition to having sex with your partner.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You can connect to your body. Mm-hmm. And I think that we were taught that we're not supposed to do that. And maybe
that's also taboo. Yeah, that's bad.
I think that religion played a huge role on that. But the point is that, why do we give to other person this burden of having to satisfy us
Yeah,
If
you're
we
right.
can
I never
satisfy
thought about it
ourselves.
that way. I really have never thought about it that way. That's interesting to think about it from that perspective.
And it's not about like just sexuality, because we could do the same analysis with, for example, friendship. Maybe
Yeah.
my partner is my friend, but it's not going to be the only friend that I will have, right? And if my partner is just my only friend, something is not going to work in the future, because that person can complete all my needs. I can't think that this other person is going to complete all my needs and everything is going to be perfect. That's not how we work. Actually, for a definition, this person is incomplete too. You're incomplete, this person is incomplete, and we are living in this world that is crazy to try to satisfy our needs.
I am so glad that that person asked that question.
Me too.
I think that's
a good
I
question.
feel like there's probably a lot of relationships out there where one person has a bigger desire than the other, and it's like, I mean, I totally am on the same page with you. That I feel like that should be something healthy to bring into your relationship to make it even out.
Exactly.
Even out.
Should be a very natural conversation. It should be almost even, like, to me, it should be just as natural as, like, what's your favorite kind of food?
What's your favorite color?
Yeah, what's your favorite
No.
color?
How often do you like to eat? Because there's people that like to have 4 meals a day, and there's people that like to have 2 meals a day. And
We
they're
were
perfect.
literally just talking about that before we got on the call. Yeah, it really depends. For me, every day is different. There's some days where I feel like I barely eat, and there's other days, I was telling Brenda, where I eat and I feel like all I did was eat all day. So must be hormones or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is okay, but it's good to talk with your partner about your eating preferences.
Yeah.
Right?
And there was something else here too, wasn't there?
Bad.
Oh,
I don't know
somebody
if we should read
commented.
that out loud.
Okay,
Kind of
yeah.
private. But good for Shantae. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're
Okay.
talking about sexual positions.
Yeah, she found
Okay.
she found some she found some confidence, and she's making it work.
Good. Well, that's great. Like, the purpose here is to enjoy. So, like, that's
Turning
that's going to be the
51 next
invitation.
month. Happy early birthday too. She's turning 51 next month.
So, is there anything you want to say about that? About positions? Maybe that's part of your talk too.
Yeah, we didn't finish his.
You know what?
presentation.
Like, I don't like to give specific tips. I don't like to. No, really. I don't like to talk about, like, frequencies or positions or how to reach the orgasm or have an orgasm or those kind of things, because what I think that I'm doing is like setting standards. And my invitation as a sexologist is for every person to discover who they are and what they enjoy. And that could be totally different. We talked about this like pattern of trying to fit in, what I should say to my friends. They talk about their sexual life and I'm not doing the same. But that's totally fine. We're different. You don't have to do the same. Actually, the question is, what would you like to do? And maybe you feel that you're okay, or maybe you would like to connect more with your sexuality, explore new erogenous zones, remove some of these emotional blockages, and just being able to flow when you're having sex. And that's perfect. So in terms of like positions, I will not give like specific information. And I think that my invitation would be to discover what are the positions that you enjoy the most, you know, because we're all different.
I'm glad you brought that up. So that's perfect. That's a great answer. And I think, I mean, we kind of are nearing towards the end of the hour. I think like is there something like within like a few minutes that you can sum up? I know that you had a lot more material, so Brittany's right. We need to have a part 2, because I know you
I think
probably
we're
only got
gonna-
through a couple slides.
I think we really would love to have you for a part 2, because just like we said before, this is not a topic that gets talked about enough, and we've had a lot of interaction, and actually there's a lot of people that are just now jumping on the call too. So for those of you that are just now jumping on the call, the replay will be available so you can watch it from the beginning after we're done. But I don't want to take up too much more time, so please tell us more.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. I would love to do a part 2. Actually, I'm honored. I will be honored to do that. And what I would like to say, I think that is like a summary about what we have talked today. So, what's desire? Desire is related to experiencing motivation, to have some experiences, right? And sexual desire is the motivation to have sexual experiences, which we are all different. Some people are searching for physical pleasure, others want to discover themselves, others want to relax and connect to others are searching for intimacy. So the invitation is to explore and discover what are you needing or what are you wanting today in regards to your sexual life. What are the experiences that make you feel that are the one that you want, that you're wanting in sexual terms? That's like the first thing. And the other thing is that I would like to invite people to start removing all these mental and emotional blockages related to norms and rules, right, that they are supposed to follow in their sex life. Maybe some people like specific positions and maybe others like other positions. The frequency is something that you should define with your partner, right? There are no goals in bed. A lot of people have this pressure and feel that they need to have an orgasm. And maybe for you, sex is not about that. And it's totally fine. You don't need to follow all these standards that have been defined by pornography, social media. And you don't have to have this body, which is the body that is promoted to be the attractive body. That's the thing. So the invitation is to just connect to yourself, connect to your sex life, and enjoy. Explore yourself, discover your erogenous zones, touch your body, feel your body, touch your partner body. And if you had a bariatric surgery, open up to experience a process of discovery, because you will have a new body.
Yes.
And you will have a new mindset too. So maybe you're going to feel and want to do new things, and that's totally fine. That is like a summary.
You did
wonderful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And there's people I think too, we're going back to the referral information. Tell them how they can find you and connect with you, and how that usually works. I know you offer workshops, but you also offer one-on-one consultation, and you not only offer on this, what we're talking about today, if sexual intimacy, you don't only offer that piece, but you also offer other types of coaching too.
Yes, I would love to talk about that. Can I share my Instagram account?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, see technology and how it works. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so that's my Instagram account. As Brenda said, I do coaching related to different topics. A lot of people work with me because they would like to reconnect with their sex life, increase their sexual well-being. That's one of the things that I do. I work with anxiety management too. I support people to increase self-confidence, etc. So if you are wanting to remove blockages, emotional blockages and mental blockages and your limiting beliefs, and you would like to just open up new possibilities for your life, you can contact me in that Instagram account. So if you take a picture of the code, you're going to be automatically redirected to my account. And what I offer to people is what I call a discovery session that is totally free. Okay? And what is a discovery session? I get together with a person, they tell me their objectives in terms of their wellness, and what we do is start analyzing the limiting beliefs, the thoughts, and the emotions that are blocking them to achieve those goals. And I run a technique, a methodology with them, which is a reprogramming process, and I let them know how I work with people. So if you're interested in increasing and boosting your well-being, you can contact me, and we can schedule a free discovery session. And in that way, you're going to know how I work and if I'm a good fit for you. Yes.
Rodolfo, also I want to just say too, you have a website. I just posted the link to that.
Yes.
Is there a contact page? And I guess we probably should put it on Facebook too. I'll do that when we get done.
So if they go to the website, there's going to be a form, and they can fill that form at the end, and they can contact me. If they connect with me by Instagram, I will answer the DM automatically myself. So that is more I would say
a little quicker,
fast.
maybe.
Yeah, quicker.
Yeah.
Quicker, if they want.
And not everybody has Instagram, so I want to make sure we're able to get those people who don't have Instagram connected.
Which is
to
totally
you.
fine. Yes, thanks for doing that.
And so, do they usually do it over Zoom or
The
phone,
discovery
or?
session with me, this first session, typically what we do is that they tell me like their work objective, and we schedule a Zoom meeting, and we get together by Zoom, and I work with the person. Guys, that is going to be a work session, okay? So you need to be prepared to connect with your emotions, your limitations, and to start creating value. That's what I do. It lasts like 1 hour, it's for free, and I'm going to be opening up 3 slots for the people that attended today. So if you want, yes, like
Guys, that's
of the
so
opportunity.
sweet. I didn't even know that he was doing that.
Thank you,
Yeah, yeah,
Rodolfo.
yeah.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
very much.
So they just mentioned that they heard you on our crowdcast on.
Exactly.
ProCare's
And they were
podcast,
going to be
okay.
able to schedule their free session. Yes.
That would be perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That'll
Thank
really
you.
help some people, I bet.
Yes.
How do you want
You're
me
welcome.
to share this?
Oh, you know what? And actually, I'll probably have to pull them up on mine, Brittany.
Oh.
We also so basically too, Brittany and I, we're so fortunate here to be sponsored as well, and with Rodolfo here, sponsored by ProCare. And in order to be sponsored, we have our actual sponsor, who is ProCare, and we are going to be. We started doing something new, which is basically kind of posing a question and then having an answer and talking about a little bit about how we can solve maybe some kind of problem. So today, let me pull up this one, and we have a couple photos here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share my screen for just a second here. So you guys are going to see me sharing my screen and pulling up a photo. Go here, and oh, that was my phone.
I was like, is that your watch or what is that?
Whoops. My folders. Okay, so let me make this big. So the problem here.
Oh, let me see.
Apologize, guys. We usually have this set up ahead of time, and today it was kind of a little bit of a crazy day. So we're actually on the solution instead of the problem. So let's go.
I don't see that you're sharing though.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
can
not,
see.
am I?
Oh, you
It's
can't see it?
Yes,
it
your
might just take a
solution.
second.
Try a different form of
So
vitamins.
basically,
Yay!
there was a problem statement that went before that. So the problem sometimes people have is not being able to tolerate their bariatric vitamin. Okay, and so ProCare Health here, our sponsor, we actually have 4 different bottles of vitamins sitting in front of us. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, and I'm going to show you. Let me pop onto that screen. Okay,
Yeah,
so
the 2 OGs right here.
so so those of you who haven't heard of ProCare Health, we'll introduce you to the website here. But we actually have several different kinds of vitamins. So if you can't tolerate one form, like a pill form, like a capsule, and these are all closed, otherwise we'd open up and show you what a capsule looks like, but it's in a little veggie capsule. You can try a chewable formula, and then we also have a brand new one. So excited. These are little chewables, and so you can try a chewable. We have 3 flavors.
They're really good.
Super excited. I'm going to have to look at the flavors because they're like brand new to me
It's
too.
cran grape, mango orange, and cherry lime. Cherry lime is my favorite. You haven't tried any of them?
I've tried them when we were in the, what do you call it, the
like the
trial stage, but I haven't tried
the research and
completed-
development stage.
Yeah.
And then
So
I
I'm
also
excited. I'm gonna
wanted
grab one of these
to
today.
bring this one up too because this is a newer surgery, the DS Sadie surgery. So we actually created a very special formula for you folks because you guys do need a little bit more in your vitamins than our original capsules here. So this is our original with the 45 milligrams of iron, and then our DS Sadie capsule. The formula is just a little bit different. It does have a higher iron. One dose is 60 milligrams, but this is the same price as our original capsule. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure
I'm going to
that
tell them how to get a free sample.
Yeah, we do free samples, guys, and it's not. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to, it's not like you pay $10 and then the $10 goes towards your next order. Nope, it's all free.
So I'll show them here real quick. I had to open up our
and
website.
while she's pulling it up, I'm so excited about Florida.
Oh, we got to talk about that too.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Here's ProCare Health. I'll copy the website. I'll put it in the chat box, and we'll put it on the Facebook page. Here is our website, ProCare Health. It's just procarenow.com. And when you go over, I typed on the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. Whoops. Screen sharing.
That's me.
Yes. Here, let me try it again.
That is you.
It actually went into our HubSpot. So here we go. Can you see this, Rodolfo? Because we're on a different screen than you.
I'm seeing right now ProCare Health multivitamin soft chews. Is that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Pink
Okay, let me
and
copy.
purple? Yes.
I must have copied. Right here, free sample. You click on that, and they can fill this out to get a free sample. And in the little message box, you can put. I think we're including these now.
Yes, you can. If you want to try one of these soft chews in the message, just type in multivitamin soft chew, and they'll make sure that you get some flavors in there.
Ooh, I'm gonna paste it here, and there we got it.
I had that issue with the patches. I had a skin reaction.
Yeah, Kelly says, okay, somebody says, I had issue with patches. Yeah, skin reaction, yeah. So there's, I would just say, whenever you have a hard time tolerating a multivitamin, try different forms, because honestly, I was the same way right after my weight loss surgery was in 2013, and it took me a while. I actually, in the beginning, would actually take a capsule and pull it apart and
Put it in food.
put it
or
in
a shake or
food.
something.
I've also tried crushing up the chewable, like the
You can
chewable formula.
crush it up and actually mix it with a little bit of water and take it as a shot really quick.
So I would
too.
do that. I mean, now I do fine. I usually take the capsule
Or
formula.
I've
just
even
swallow
heard
it.
of some people mixing the citrus with a little bit of orange juice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it kind of masks the vitamin flavor. And then these
You're getting
are
to know
great
everything
too.
about
So,
ProCare.
all right, we want to talk about Advent Health now,
Yes.
or the event. We probably
Yes, and why don't we, Brittany, you go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the website too, because it's getting close to closing there.
Yeah. So we're going to be at the Bariatric Society retreat in Orlando, which is at Walt Disney World. We're really excited. Brenda's actually a speaker. Oh, I'm so proud of her. So we're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Amanda's going to be there. Amanda is another sales. Actually, she's the account manager. So she kind of oversees all of us other reps. She was actually our first original and only sales rep, and now we have five of us. So 4 or 5.
I was going to introduce him to earlier to my daughter, Madison. She's a sales rep too, but she scurried off before.
She's
she
busy.
doesn't like the camera.
She's got
for
things
some
to
reason.
do. Well, she's
does.
leaving for Tacoma though too.
Yeah, she's going to Tacoma. Berry Diaries is having an event as well. That's this weekend. They're
Lots of
closed on
events.
their registration, but that is being put on by Berry Nation, who you know, Rodolfo, because he's part of Berry Nation.
I have a class
but
there
they're
today,
going.
actually.
Oh, in Tacoma.
No, in Berry Nation.
Oh, in
I have a
Berry
class today.
Nation.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
We'll just have to mention that and give a highlight. You guys check out Berry Nation too. I can type that out here. The retreat information, though, I just put the link, and we can put it in. We can put it in the Facebook page here in a second.
I'll do that.
And I did
For
the
the
Berry
society,
Diaries. Let
you
me do
mean?
Berry Nation. What he's going to be talking in today. What are you talking about there today?
Cultivating healthy relationships after bariatric surgery.
That would be a perfect one to sit
It's
in
so
on.
about to set boundaries and learning how to communicate effectively.
Okay, well then there you go, guys. I mean, if you wanted any more information, there's your part 2.
And your first 30 days in Berry Nation, I think, is free, isn't it? First 15 or 30 days is free.
I think it is the first
14
30.
days, I guess.
14.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
2
That was
weeks,
better.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can sign up for free and watch him. That's later today, you said?
Yeah, but please, I would like to be back here. So.
Oh, you can come back to us anytime.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna have to write myself a note. Tomorrow we'll get together. Today we're putting together a booth at the ProCare office here because we're getting ready for ASMBS, which is the American Society for Metabolic
Another big event.
Bariatric Surgery Conference, which is in 2 months. And so we have to learn how to put up this booth. So there are 6 of us here that Nick is teaching. Nick is our CEO. He's teaching us how to put up the booth. It's actually pretty hilarious.
For us, not for Nick.
He's laughing at us a lot, I'm just saying. But so we're doing that today. So Rodolfo, we'll connect tomorrow and get
For sure.
a date set up.
Perfect.
Date set up.
Ooh, he did so good, I feel like.
Oh,
Did you like it? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, no, I loved it. This was one of my
I learned
favorite
a lot.
lives.
It was helpful. It was very helpful.
Great.
Nobody talks about this stuff. It's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say that like 2 people reach out to me to schedule the discovery sessions. So there's 1 slot available. So if you
Hurry
would like
up,
to,
guys.
Yes.
Hurry up. And let's say there's a 4th person or 5th person. You'll still do a discovery session with them.
It just won't be free.
It just won't be free.
Yeah.
Or not.
What I typically
not.
do is that I save for specific events like 3 slots. That's what I do.
Oh, gotcha. So then that's
Yes.
it.
So we'll
Well,
have
thank you
one
for
more.
doing
so
that.
if you want, like
It was a pleasant surprise.
take advantage of the opportunity.
Yes.
So-
All right. Any closing statements before we go? I don't see any other comments. I posted the link to the event if anyone's interested, to the society event. So yeah.
Berry Nation.
Oh, I'll do that one too.
We'll do
right
that
now.
one too.
Yeah.
That one's just
You know
very.
what I would like to say?
Yes.
I would like to say thanks for this invitation
Aw.
and for allowing me to talk about sexuality. And thanks for all the people that was connected today and they were sharing. I think that sexuality is a topic that we need to talk about and we don't do that. So thanks for sharing your experiences, your questions, and I would love to connect in another instance to share more.
We love that. In fact, we were teasing earlier because you don't know this, Rodolfo, but before we even met you, we had been talking about topics, and we were talking about Nick, our CEO, before, and he's very open-minded about things.
Yes.
He's like, you girls need to get some subjects out there, talk about some things that are people
The birds
need
and the
to hear.
bees, baby.
You need to be talking about that. So we were like, who do we find? And then you just popped in our life.
Yeah, you really did.
Yep.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, no, thanks for the invitation, and I would love to be here again.
We will definitely have you again. Thank you for
Yes.
your time and
Yes.
you coming to us. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
thank you.
Yes.
Mwah.
Mwah. I wish we could
Okay.
give you a hug.
Yes, we will soon.
Yeah.
We will.
Yes, I will see you soon, guys. Okay,
Bring your
bye.
party pants.
Okay, I will.
I don't know what that means, but
No, I understand. I was looking for a party.
We're gonna
With my
party.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
yeah. Okay.
Bring your party
See you.
pants.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow or next week.